Howdy! Welcome to Aspire Mountain Academy. I'm Professor Curtis, your instructor for this course, English 294, NaNoWriMo, How to Write a 50,000-Word Novel Every November. In this lecture, we're going to provide an introduction to this course. Let's get started. So I want to start off by welcoming everyone to English 294. This is a course for novelists, would-be novelists, and pretty much anyone who's interested in writing a novel. And it's constructed with the idea of assisting more and more people to participate in NaNoWriMo. Now, the method that I'm going to show you in this course is based on, my own experience with NaNoWriMo, and it's proven, and the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. And the pudding is what I've been consuming every November since 2011. So every November, I've produced a 50,000-word novel as a part of NaNoWriMo. Does this sound exciting? Whoa, I sure hope so. Let's get started then. So for those of you who don't know about NaNoWriMo, NaNoWriMo began in 1999 as a simple challenge to write a 50,000-word novel in celebration of November being National Novel Writing Month, and that's where the name comes from, NaNoWriMo. And it started small, like most things that are great, and then it just took off. And now it's this huge international event that takes place every November. It's a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to promoting literary creativity. And it does this not only through its annual novel writing challenge, which takes place in November, but there are a lot of other things that NaNoWriMo does all throughout the year. So if you'd like to go check them out, you can do that on their website at nanowrimo.org. You can also go to nanowrimo.org if you want to participate in the challenge that they have every November. Let me give you an introduction to who I am. What is it that qualifies me to teach this class? Well, I've been writing since I was a boy. And in college, I actually double majored in engineering and English. Long story behind that one. I know those are two majors that you don't typically think of going together. So there's a little bit of a story behind that one, which I can relate that tale at another time. For right now, purposes of this course, I first tried the NaNoWriMo challenge in 2003, and I failed miserably at it. I fell over my face. I tripped over my feet. I probably landed on my backside more times than I could. It was just a horrible experience. And I just, there were some other things going on in my life at the time that just were kind of depressing. And so the fact that I failed NaNoWriMo just made it even more miserably depressing. But, that was that. And so I put NaNoWriMo away. But then, as, life unfolds, things change. And 2011, I returned to NaNoWriMo and decided to approach things very differently. And with the new approach that I had embraced in 2011, I actually won NaNoWriMo. And I kept coming back. I said, hey, you know what? This actually works out pretty well. So let's see if I can do it again. So 2012 came around, did it again. 2013, did it again. And it didn't take long for me to realize I had a tried and true proven method for writing a 50,000-word novel in 1 month every November. And that's what I want to share with you in this course. I want to share with you my method so that you can feel the same success of accomplishment from writing your own 50,000-word novel in November that I get when I write my 50,000-word novel every November. So here's what you're going to find in this course. The next lecture, Lecture 1, is all about the math. Now you might be wondering, wait a minute, I thought you were going to teach me how to write a 50,000-word novel in a month. What are we doing with math? Well, that's a good question. And that's going to be answered in the next lecture. There is a little bit of math. It's not really complicated, but you know what? If you do the math, you run the numbers, it becomes really easy to see that anyone can write a 50,000 word novel in a month. That's why I do the math. Then in the next lecture, we're going to talk about how do we find the time to write the 50,000 word novel in a month? Because, I mean, that just seems like this huge enterprise, endeavor. And, you know, I got so many things going on in my life. Well, guess what? I typically have lots of things going on in my life all the time. I'm constantly juggling through multiple commitments. And yet, I've successfully written a 50,000 word novel every year since 2011. How do I do it? Well, there's some tips about finding the time that I'm going to share with you in Lecture 2. Lecture number 3 talks about doing the actual work. You know, how is it that you actually, get from this state where you're just thinking about writing a 50,000 word novel and dreaming about what it would be like to have written a 50,000 word novel to actually looking at actual output in the real world that is a 50,000 word novel. How do we transition from the one to the other? That's what we're going to talk about in Lecture 3. And then, of course, in Lecture 4, we're going to wrap up the course with some final words about how to leverage the inside track. How do we, look for the little tips and the little insights that we can use to gain some advantage in our approach so that we can actually maximize the use of the time we have and get that 50,000 word novel produced in 1 month. So that's basically the outline of the course that we have here for you. And the only question that remains is, do you want to write a 50,000 word novel? You might be thinking to yourself, it sounds kind of nice, but wow, that just seems really massive. I don't know if I could do that. Look, I'm here to assure you, if you want to write a 50,000 word novel, you can. You can. My method is tried and true and proven, and if you apply it, it will work for you. So, if you want to write a 50,000 word novel, what are you waiting for? Let's get into this course. Let's learn how we can write a 50,000 word novel in only a month. You can get into Lecture 1 at aspiremountainacademy.thinkific.com and do it today because, we're going to be selling this course. Who knows when the price might go up? I'm going to have a special introductory price for the first offering of the course, and then thereafter, the price could go up. So you don't want to wait. You want to get in today and find out how you can write a 50,000 word novel during the month of November for this year and every year thereafter. And that brings us to the end of this lecture. I hope you found it helpful. You can find more lectures for this and other courses at aspiremountainacademy.com. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.